All right, guys. Jordan 11 Gratitude 2023. Authentic to the left, replication to the right. Follow me on Instagram, bottom right hand corner of your screen. It will remain there throughout the whole video, legit versus replicated. I do not promote replications on my legit versus replicated account, so you're not going to see names of sellers or anything. This is only to help you with authenticating the actual product so you don't get scammed in the streets or wherever you go to purchase this stuff outside of a retail establishment. So let's get into it. Left, you can already see the box is cleaner on the retail. To the right is a bit ashier, showing the ridges from a lesser quality printer and so forth. It has happened on retail boxes too, I'll say that, but for the most part, a lot of these shoes that are replicated come in boxes with, not the greatest print job and so forth. Just not as crisp, we'll say, or clean. And also, the box size does match the authentic. They're starting to do that again a lot more often than none. So here's the actual authentic box label. Very clear, very clean, very crisp, legible as well. Very nicely done. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the replicated size label tag. And it looks like it could be just a hair smaller, but again, it is legible. You can read it. Maybe not as crisp as the authentic tag, but it's definitely good enough to get you on the streets, But again, the tags are becoming harder and harder now, just looking at them by the naked eye. Here's the ring of the authentic, nice gold color. Here's the replication, a lighter tone gold color. So you're probably not going to be able to really differentiate that unless you got the authentic next to you, to be honest. So let's go ahead and dig inside the box of the replication here. You see the shoes in there. Excuse me. I'm about to remove those shoes out of the box in a moment. What I'm really looking for here under the lid of the box is to see if there's an actual control number stamped. I can't remember, and no, there's not. It does not show that. So, okay. And I know it doesn't show it anywhere else in the internal here. So you see the internal tissue paper, oily, translucent, see-through. I've been seeing that a lot more lately on authentic pairs. You see the YDMO sticker. The ring around the green is actually translucent clear. It is not a white ring around the green as it used to be in the past. Here we go, replicated box, internal oily tissue paper. Not much different. I'll give them a pass on that. So the tissue paper will be a bit of a problem as far as authenticating the shoes. Here we go. Look at that. We got a stamp in the replication. So if you see a stamp in the box, again, authentication tactic. YDM mold sticker has the white ring around it, not the newer translucent ones we've been seeing lately. So again, I'm not going to say it means the shoe's fake, but I would start questioning those things. Here we go. Authentic to the left, replication to the right. First call out off rip. The outsole, of course, is darker than the outsole of the retail. So we can obviously see that. Also, the shoe is a little bit underscaled versus the retail pair. These are both size 12. So it, like you see on the rear here, you see the black pad with the 23 is a bit thinner, not as wide as the authentic to the left. You see how the elephant print, wow. You see how the black patent leather is higher on the authentic to the left versus the rep to the right. That's really because the shoe's underscaled. So it's not necessarily that they got it wrong of the height of the print of the patent leather. It's just, unfortunately, the fact that the shoe's just underscaled. So the leather's more tumbled on the replication, which is interesting, versus the authentic to the left. The Jumpmans are identical. I'll give you that. Now, on camera, you may see some minor differences. To be honest, we're looking at 1080p at 60 hertz here. So there may be more noticeable things on camera than the naked eye, to be honest. But here we go. Toe boxes, again, nearly identical. Nearly identical. I'm going to be very honest. The replica to the right, ain't nobody getting called out on that. I'm just being honest. Ain't no way neither. Even just because the outsole is a little bit darker color tone, not a chance. Now, one thing I did want to say, the stitching on the strips of going up to the eyelets are actually a bit thicker on the replication versus the retail to the left. You see the strips, the black strips here on the tongues. They are identical on the third eyelid as well, as they should be. I should say congruent with the third eyelid. Also, Black shanks, black and gold shanks. They got it down. They got it. So that's tough. Here we go. It's going to be the outsole on this pair, guys. That's going to be the great authentication tactic. I mean, you see the major color difference there. And that's because we got these shoes together. On foot, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. So here we are now looking at the other pair that we have here. And we're going to see the same differences. Again, toe boxes nearly identical. Outsole, color tone darker on the rep to the left versus the authentic to the right. Again, leather's more tumbled on the replication on the left versus the right. Jumpmans, again, are identical. So really it looks like the major difference on these size 12 pairs is going to be the rear. As you can see how much higher the cut is of the patent leather. You see the number 23 on the rear. And, you know, that black padding that the 23's embossed on is thinner on the replication versus the authentic. But we're going to get a little bit deeper into this, guys. We're going to get into the authentication areas that you really can't hide. And we're going to get into the internals. We're going to look at the footbeds to go ahead and confirm if the stitching matches, if there's any stamps on it, and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and get right into that here in a few more seconds. I'm just showing you a little bit more of the shoe there. So here we go. We got the insoles. Here's the authentic, 23 below, nice legible. And on the left, 23 is legible, size 12. The black's a bit darker. Interesting. The black's darker on the rep insole than it is on the authentic. Now here we go. Great authentication tactic. You see the left, you got your standard chart and so forth. Embossed in. Look to the right, no chart. Bigger numbers, bigger letters. Very different from the standard 11 insoles we're used to seeing. So great authentication technique. Here we go. Footbed of the authentic. White internal stitching. No stamp on the footbed. No stamp whatsoever. Very clean. Now let's get into the replication. Here we go. Boom. Huge stamp. Never fails. But we got a huge stamp on the footbed, and we got the black stitching. Black stitching. So, yeah, if you see black stitching, again, raise your eyebrow. 9 times out of 10, that shoe ain't it, man. It ain't it. And that stamp, too. And I remember the fiasco with the cool grays, whatever that was about, with the whole stamp and no stamp issue, but it is what it is. But, hey, thank you for hanging out with your boy. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, gave you some ideas on authenticating your shoes. And like I said, follow me on my IG, Legit vs. Replicated. That's where you're going to see additional photos and so forth, like the internal size tag and so forth. So you can see some more pretty cool, you know, areas of authentication you could look into. And with that, y'all know what it is. We out.